What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video where I've got a Great League remix team for y'all with the new Incinerate Magcargo. Magcargo, it's a beast, and I know right off the bat, several of you in the comments are seeing the graphic and you're saying, Rise, why Stone Edge and not the new Rock Tomb buff move? Because Rock Tomb, in my opinion, is still kind of bad. It's 60 energy. It's more energy than Stone Edge, and it hits significantly less harder. It just gets you that debuff. So, in my opinion, Stone Edge is still the better move. That's why I'm going with that. And now with Incinerate, rather than taking, what is it, 5 energy per rock throw. So instead of taking 11 rock throws, which is 22 turns to get to a Stone Edge or an Overheat, it takes only 3 Incinerates or 15 turns, which is pretty crazy. So Magcargo just gets to its move significantly faster now, and we're in a pretty good spot. We're pairing Magcargo with double flyers, Pelipper, and Shadow Crobat. I did also get this team idea from my buddy, my teammate TZ Spence. He was running this team except with a Golbat, and you guys know that I like my Shadow Crobat. Again, why Shadow Crobat instead of Golbat? No reason in particular. Golbat's probably a little bit better, but I think Crobat's a little bit cooler and a little bit more fun, so that's the only reason for that. And then we all know Pelipper is always a great safe swap pretty much in any league. Crobat just bullying this Meganium right now. This Meganium is just lost for words. We get off a poison. we lived the Earthquake, only single resisted, so our opponent made the right play going for the Earthquake. And I just decide to wing attack down at this point and win the game. So a nice way to start things off. Hope everyone's having a lovely start to the Go Battle League season. Always nice at the start of the season when you can just kind of try out different Pokemon, different teams, have some fun. And you're not, whether you're trying to grind to Ace or Veteran or Elite, Legend, whatever your goal is, you don't feel that pressure really early on in the season. And this is a great lead for us, Magcargo versus Wiggly. So I'm just trying to time my moves well. 4 Incinerates, that's 20 turns versus 21 turns. That's correct timing. Stone Edge gets a shield. And Wiggly's going to get to move here. I'm debating whether I want to shield it or not, because I know I can tank it, but if he's not switching, I'm thinking it could be nice to preserve Magcargo, but I'm going to get off another Stone Edge, and I get both shields. So at this point, I just aggressive swap into my Pelipper. And I'm just going to get rid of this Wiggly rather than allow him to farm down my Magcargo. Now I still have the Magcargo as a potential sacrifice later on. What's going to come in? Lapras comes in. And this is great that shields are down because this isn't a great matchup for Pelipper normally. But because shields are down, I'm going to be able to get off this Hurricane. Going to do a lot of damage. Bang! Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. That's what Pelipper is jamming out to. I take the Surf, and I'm just going to save shields. Oh my gosh, they threw their Surf. That's really nice for me, because now I won't have to expend a shield on Crobat. Oh, I come in with Magcargo. Because I think I thought, oh, this is a little scary. I think I thought my Magcargo could potentially farm down and come out with a move, but not quite. And they Rock Tomb me, so attack fell. This is nice, like end game situation where you want Rock Tomb. You can debuff something when it's locked in there. And I'm just keeping track of energy. And at this point, I know that I can get to another Shadow Ball before he gets to another charge move. And I'm in good shape. And Crobat with a Shadow Ball to the face for the victory. There we go. And we're going to approach the next battle. Emmy Jimbo, the next opponent. Terrific lead against Frostlass. He swaps into a Greedent. I'm going to stay in here for a little bit because Greedent is so spammy with its moves. If it gets a little bit of a head start on energy, it can really flip a lot of matchups. So I'm going to get off a move here. I actually landed the Overheat, which is huge. And I'm going to come in with Pelipper. I know I can tank at least 2 Body Slams. I'm hoping he doesn't get to a third. But yeah, at this point, I know there's no way he gets to a third. But, you know, this is a little bit sketchy because I did allow myself to get so low that the Frostlass could potentially farm me down here. So this is a little bit sketchbox. I get a shield with Weather Ball. They had to respect it in case it was a Hurricane. Going to get off a Weather Ball here. And then I get farmed down. So this Frostlass now has a lot of energy. In comes a Politoed, and this is looking pretty scary. This is looking pretty scary because Politoed is so spammy. And also Frostlass, of course, has a ton of energy loaded up. So I know I have to respect the move here. They Weather Ball me, unfortunate. This, I think, could be a Blizzard if I'm not mistaken. And it is a Blizzard, so I successfully shield the Blizzard, but because they baited me, now I have no shields. And this is going to be an incredibly close finish. I do get the last shield here and the debuff. Oh, should have probably tried to catch there, because my switch clock had just come up, and now I need one Incinerate to KO. No, Frostlass gets to a move. And this is one of those games that I'm a competitive guy. I get frustrated when I lose in this game a lot, but I was just like, I was not mad in the slightest. I was like, wow, my opponent played that exceptionally well and overcame a tough lead and baited, found his win con in the end. That was just an incredible performance from the opponent in that game. I don't think there's too much I could have done differently with how well they played. I think the only thing I could have done differently would be throw a Weather Ball at the Greedent in hindsight, so the Frostlass couldn't farm me down, or I could have called the bait, obviously, from the Poly. So, can we respond after the tough loss? Going for a Stone Edge right away. Drifloon does win CMP here. I shielded, and they baited me, so a really nice bait by the opponent. Gonna get off a Stone Edge here, and boom! It's still one-shots. And our opponent's gone, so I guess they don't like Magcargo. They didn't seem to have an answer for it. It just scared him away. The lava snail of death. Just kidding, not of death. That's getting into PG-13 territory. We keep it PG over here. Shiftry. Terrific lead for Magcargo. These Incinerate's really chunking. I decided to let the first one go. He actually foul plays me because in his mind he's thinking I'm a fire type, so he can't throw his grass move, but Leaf Blade is actually the correct move to throw here. It hits for neutral because rock is vulnerable to grass. And I am going to shield this because that Incinerate that went through should KO, and I should come out of here with a move. In comes Swamp, so I'm going to soften it up with an Overheat. Overheat just such a hard-hitting move. I'm going to aggressively swap into my Pelipper. Get off this Weather Ball to threaten the last shield. I get the shield. He's throwing a move, and I'm willing to take a risk that he's not running Sludge Wave. If he is, that's fine. It wouldn't one-shot me. And in comes Scarm. In comes Scarm, and that Swampert has residual energy, so this game is not over. We are not out of the woods just yet. He does a nice job throwing right away. I'm debating where I want to expend my last shield. I decided to let my Pelipper go. And I didn't want to run the risk of Magcargo getting air slash down. Oh, okay. There we go. That works out better. Nice little catch. Nice undercharge by the opponent. A little bit of desync. So this desync is really unfortunate because it means my opponent starts a turn ahead, so I can only do one less air slash than I otherwise could have. But because we get a little bit of overfarm, the Swampert's low enough where we can just Poison Fang it. No need to go for a Shadow Ball. And that is a G to the G. Yeah, nice little catch on the Magcargo to seal the deal in the end game. I find earlier in the season when I'm playing players, we're all starting at the same point, right? But rather than towards the end of the season when I'm playing players at like a really high elo, when I'm playing at a lower rank, I tend to notice it's really easy to catch. It's really easy to catch because people tend to just throw their moves right away without really thinking. Versus when you get to like higher elos, people are usually over farming as much as they can before throwing their move, and they're timing their moves correctly where the opponent oftentimes can't really successfully catch. So that's a big difference I notice. Some people sometimes ask me when I'm streaming, like, what's the biggest difference between 2500 elo and 2700 elo? I don't think there's like one thing in particular I can pinpoint. I think it's a variety of things. But that's one thing I noticed playing in like the lower ranks is it's really easy to catch. It's really easy to like read people when they're going to throw because they're generally just going to throw right away. So we lead Magcargo into Crobat this time. In comes AWAC. This is not bad at all for our Magcargo. So I'm going to get off this Stone Edge to pressure a shield right away. I get the shield. I swap into Pell in case he was going to Bone Club. I'm going to let this first one go. It's a Shadow Ball, so that hurts pretty hard, actually. Going to get off a Weather Ball here. This won't quite KO, but it does put Marowak pretty low. And at this point, I'm willing to let him Shadow Ball me if he's going to Shadow Ball me. Because now I know he's dry, and now I know I can Incinerate down. And I already know there's a Crobat in the lead, which my Crobat up a shield should be fine against. In comes Raichu, and this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect because my Crobat did not want any part of this Raichu. And we're looking to be in a good spot here. If my opponent had I am gonna shield this because I know I can get to one more Stone Edge because one Volt Switch won't KO me. If our opponent had swapped the Raichu instead of the Marowak, we might have lost this game. It would have been a lot more difficult to navigate because I probably would have had to stay in against the Raichu, and then it would have been Pelipper and Crobat against Marowak and Crobat. So it would have been a lot closer. But we just get to a Shadow Ball here. And gonna take out the opposing Crobat G to the G. 1477. Our 1500 Crobat was just trying to flex against his long lost cousin. And let's see if we can skip ahead a little bit here. On to the next one. Let's see if Magcargo can put in some work in this one. Quagsire. So this is pretty terrible. This beats all three of our Pokemon. And I accidentally did an Incinerate. I didn't want to do that Incinerate. I wanted to just swap right away. In comes Hypno. This is not looking good. We go straight for a Hurricane, hoping to land it and take Switch. But nope. He shields it. He denies us. And at this point, I know he's going to Thunder Punch me. But I need shield advantage if I want to take out that Quagsire. I know the only way I take out that Quagsire is if Crobat has shields. So at this point, I'm just going to overfarm as much as I can with Magcargo. And this Stone Edge shouldn't quite KO. So this is actually perfect. This lets me come out with an Overheat, which will really chunk this Quagsire, and I'm really hoping they don't shield. I don't think they will because they know it's a resisted move. But look, it still does a nice chunk of damage because Overheat's such a hard-hitting move, and now we're looking to be in a much better situation. Shield the Stone Edge, of course. I go for the Poison Fang right away. Even though it's resisted, I want to put the pressure on this Quag, and I actually get the last shield, so this is looking to be great. Because there's no way they're going to get to another Stone Edge after this one. In comes Toxicroak. And oh my gosh. What looked to be an absolutely horrible lead ends up being pretty good because we were able to manage our energy and chip the Quagsire to the point where Crobat could handle it, and the Toxicroak just really had nowhere to go after the Magcargo was out of the picture. So a nice win there from a pretty horrible lead. 3-7, the next opponent, Octillery. They watched our last video. They're going straight for what I thought was an Octazooka at the time, but look at this. Acid Spray. Lock on Acid Spray. Are you joking me? What has gotten in to these people? What did they eat for breakfast that they're running Lock on Acid Spray? So their Lock on start doing 2 damage instead of 1 damage. I decided to shield my Pelipper because I think switch advantage is important. If the Octillery is on my Magcargo, it's going to be tough for me to win this game. So I'm actually willing to go down 2 shields here. But again, this is not... You really never want to go down 2 shields. Puts you in such a bind. In comes Claydol. I store 2 Weather Balls. And then I'm going to come in Magcargo. And this is basically just as a sacrifice. I'm just completely sacrificing my Magcargo here. But it's Rock Tomb. They don't have Earth Power. So I actually get off a Stone Edge against Octillery. And now all of a sudden, this looks like it could be possible. He Octazookas us. I wasn't sure if I could Wing Attack down before getting Locked On down. So I decided to Air Slash down instead. I go for a Shadow Ball here. It gets shielded. Coming in to throw my stored Weather Ball. Is this going to be enough? Not quite. Just barely not enough. Claydol gets off the Rock Tomb and we lose. So I know someone probably already commented it that if I had Poison Fanged, I would have won. So a little bit of a rewind here. So in my head at the time, I was hoping Weather Ball would be enough after all the Air Slash damage. So in my head, I thought Poison Fang was probably the lose con. I thought Poison Fang was the only way I lose. I thought all these Air Slashes would do enough where even if he shields the Shadow Ball, I could just win CMP and my Weather Ball should be enough. But he did actually sneak in a Confusion. So I did misplay this one pretty bad. Because, as you'll see, when I come in with the Crobat, the correct timing would be after 5 Air Slashes. 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. That was correct. But so I must have got the pause, which allowed him a free Confusion here. Because you see that a Confusion goes through. So a little bit unlucky that I got the pause, which gave him an entire free Confusion. Because as you see, this Weather Ball, I think 1 Air Slash would have done the trick. So that's unfortunate. We did get some lag there, which cost us out of 1 Air Slash. But if I had Poison Fang baited and gotten the shield, I would have won anyway. So a combination of we could have done something differently, and we also were a bit unlucky with getting the pause there. And I had someone comment, what is the pause in the last video? Basically, it happens, it's a form of lag after charge moves where you lag for 1 turn and it creates a desync, and sometimes you have damage that applies to you when it shouldn't have. Terrific lead against the Frost. Pride comes in. I'm hoping they don't have Ice Punch. They Night Slash me here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can Air Slash all the way down. That's huge. I'm going for a bait here with Poison Fang, which is kind of risky. But I do get the shield, which is nice. And they throw their energy. That is amazing for me. So now I'm up a shield, and I have an energy advantage, and I have switch advantage. Gonna go for a Stone Edge here against Frost. Are they gonna shield it? They are not. What's in back? Poly. And we should be in good shape here. Pelipper up a shield, should be able to handle Poly just fine. And they didn't even bother building up to Blizzard, so I know this thing probably has Earthquake. And I can just go straight Weather Ball here. If you're wondering why I'm not building up to Hurricane, I still have 2 shields. My wing attacks are going to chunk. My Weather Balls are going to chunk. So in my mind, there's really no point in going for the Hurricane. A potential lose con would be going all the way for the Hurricane and then them shielding that and having all that energy go to waste. So going for a Hurricane there would be unnecessary and kind of a lose condition. And I think we have one more battle. Let's lock it in and find an opponent. Rank 8, rank 9, here we come. Come on. Japanda. That's a cool name. All right. Drapion. It only takes 4 Poison Stings for Drapion to get to an Aqua Tail, so I know this is an Aqua Tail. I'm like, dang it, I have to shield this. It stinks having to shield a move that's like so cheap in energy. You'd rather save it for like a hard-hitting charge move. Stone Edge lands, and my opponent comes in with a K9, which is very weak to Magcargo, and I'm just thinking, what on earth is going on? They're going to Psyshock me, okay. Gonna get off another Stone Edge. Magcargo just putting in absolute work. And I know this wasn't even enough for a Psyshock. This is only a Weather Ball, which is going to be double resisted. Takes it on the chin, our snail friend. Throw my Stone Edge right away. Are they going to commit their second shield? They are. And I'm just going to force him to throw energy here. I debated if I wanted to shield, but I decided it'd probably be better to just save a shield for my back Pokemon. Come in with Pell. Our opponent lagged for a brief moment. So maybe they would have gotten off a Weather Ball first if it wasn't for the lag. Who knows? Weather Ball wouldn't have done much anyway. And there's a Superior in back, so it did not matter. Superior met by the Crobat. And that's a pretty hard counter. Our opponent, if they had shielded their Drapion, they would have put me in a much more difficult situation. But we go 8-2 with this Magcargo team. I've seen multiple people make videos on this, so definitely a popular Pokemon right now. Once again, you can run Rock Tomb if you want with the debuff. I know people love their debuffs in PvP, but personally I think Stone Edge, which just being such a hard-hitting move, is better in my opinion. We hit rank 9 on the grind, on the journey to rank 24 once again. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. And all that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.